Okay. Woo, look at this. What's going on? Why can't you see me? Let's do that. And let's do that. And boom, there we are. Hello, everyone. I'm not driving, my boyfriend is. Okay. All right, let's get rid of this now. Let's get this lined up here. It's starting to... Okay. I'm going to have to swing this around here. All right, here we are. It's Wednesday Night Live. All right, let's see now what's going on here. Let's just double check this. Okay, and there we are. And what? Look at that. I did a little test. Insert a photo. Okay, here we go. You guys, I'm excited you picked a hard one here. So we'll... Hold on. All right. I may have to go back for another Kleenex there in a minute, but nonetheless... Oh, embarrassing. Oh, hey, welcome everyone. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Danielle. Bless you too. All right, well, hello, my name is Kurt, and I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday Night Live draw. We want to welcome everyone who's new. I want to welcome everyone who's going to be watching the recording. And who do we have in the house? Hey, look at that. We got Russell's in the house, ready to go. Danielle's in the house, and Shelby. All right. You guys are all ready. Hopefully your pencils are sharp. Boo! I wanted the soldier picture. Ah, yes. Well, yes, I can do that as well, Russell. I will post that for you. Yep, sorry, bud. Anyways, welcome everyone. I'm glad that you're here. On Mondays, we have a Monday Night Live where we will usually draw a landscape. And then here on Wednesdays, we usually draw a portraiture, but I kind of throw things out to our Facebook group, and they decided they wanted to switch it up for a while. So we're drawing 4 different character studies over the course of 4 weeks. So this is week number 3, and you could see all of those in the previous weeks in the YouTube channel. But that's about it, really. Like I said, my name is Kurt, and this here is Wednesday Night Live. Just a couple things really quickly. The dishwasher is happening behind me, so tell me if it's too loud, and I will turn that off, but that would be the only background noise. Other than that, right now let's see, there is a link in the description below for a free class. It's called Beginner's Workshop Part A, and it takes you through all the basic foundations. We have had a lot of people go through that, and they've gotten a lot out of it. It's a really good place to start. Goes over the cube, how to draw an oval, sphere, wedges, and cylinder, I believe. But those are the key things that you really want to master, because you will use those over and over and over again. But that's not why we're here tonight. We're going to draw this lovely woman here who has the sword and everything like that. And I can't wait to see how we do, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Hold on, I have got to blow my nose one more time. Forgive me. All right, back to it. Let's do this. Okay, so let's talk about a couple little different things here. Let's talk about just drawing faces at a much smaller size. So let's bring this up. Let's do something here. I'm just going to bring up a square here, a round shape, and another circular shape here. And why did that just stop? All right, let's see what's going on there. Okay, there it is. Okay. So a lot of times when you are, let's just say you're going to be drawing in public and you're sitting at a coffee stand or something like that, and you have a lot of like people coming and going. Well, a lot of times the faces you're going to draw are going to be pretty small. So let me show you just a couple little tidbits that I like to do to keep things moving on, so you don't have to get in a lot of detail. So, for example, I might, if I'm going to draw someone in public, I'm going to draw like a quick eye line, all right, and then I'm going to maybe just put 2 eyebrows, and then I'm just going to like make the area almost like just 2 splotches where the eyes would go. All right, because I don't have time to do a lot of detail here. I might darken the top of those areas to kind of give a sense that there is an eyelash. And then sometimes if you just give like a little indication of shadow to suggest where the nose is, and maybe 2 nostrils, okay? Then that will take me into like drawing lips, and usually for a woman, if it's going to be quick, I will draw the upper lip just like this, and then I will just draw almost like the shadow that's underneath the lower lip. All right. You could also draw the lip if you go with like a darker corner there. Finer line. See this? And then darken underneath again. This will also give a sense of the sides there of the lips. So let me just go, let's go ahead and do that here. And remember, your lips are going to be relatively close to your nose there. And you want to make sure that these corners of the mouth line up with the middle part of the eyes. Drop in your shadow there. Oh. Did you just smack? All right. Then you can come in here, right in the corners there. This is going to be the corner of the mouth, corner of the jaw, and then there you go. That essentially is your basic facial features. You can come in with like a couple lines like this, and this will help indicate the jaw and cheekbone. All right, so that would be the most simplest and quick way that I would draw a face. Let's do it again over here, okay? Let's say this big old eyebrows here, right? In this one here, you can even like, let's add some, a quick little detail of bags under the eyes. A great way to draw the nose if you're going quick is just to draw something like this. So let's do that here. And let's say this guy this is a man, so let's just say he had a mustache. And as I'm drawing the bottom part of the mustache, I'm really just pushing down and pulling up with my pencil. So I push down and pull up, push down, pull up. When you do that, will create a nice taper in your stroke and give a lot of life to it. We'll add a little highlight, a little shadow underneath his lower lip there. Come in here with the sides of his head. Let's show the ear, and usually if you're drawing an ear on the side, you're going to start off with a mark like this. Something like that. The top of the ear lines up with the eyes. Bottom of the ear lines up with his nose. There's his chin. And then the hair, we can, let's just say he was bald like me. Okay. And then we could go in there and you could add some quick value. Eyes are going to be set back. Might be a shadow underneath his nose. We'll make him worried here. Oh my gosh, I can't pay the rent. All right, let's try this last one here. Oh, excuse me. Be right back. All right. I was taking a class once online, and the guy just had a runny nose, and he just kept. Oh, it drove me crazy. All right, let's continue on here. All right, let's put this. Let's make this one very worried. Okay, they're gonna have a very worried look. All right, so these are gonna be the eyes, and let's give them a very long nose. And on this nose, we'll just tone the bottom part here. It'll give a sense that this is going back here. Okay. And this person's been up all night and crying. They've been very, very sad. I don't know why. All right, this time we're going to draw the mouth, but underneath we'll give a little bit of a shadow. Getting that shadow underneath the bottom lip is you know where I learned how to do that was reading the book How to Draw the Marvel Comics Way by Stan Lee. Yeah, they would. A lot of times that's the way they would deal with, especially men's lips. They would just draw the top lip with a shape and then drop in a shadow underneath the bottom lip. And that was a great way to do that. All right, so this person's ears, we'll make them a little bit lower here. And we'll give him like a scruffy, shadow. What do they call that? Not a, I can't remember what they call that. End of the day shadow. That's not it though. I don't know why I can't remember. 5 o'clock shadow. That's it. And this guy is going to have this, he's just got some hair here. There's his eyebrows. Okay, so those are really the basic features that I use if I'm going to quickly draw a face, whether it's like a far away or up close. So just remember when you're doing it that you're generally speaking, let's change the color here so you can see it. Let's just go over our proportions. The eyes usually line up with the top of the ears. Bottom of the ears line up with the bottom part of the nose. Corner of the mouth usually lines up with the pupils of the eye. The wings of the nose line up with the inside part of the eye. Okay. Usually your eyes, there's like the distance of one eye is in between. All right. And usually your brow line is halfway between the top of the head and the bottom of the face. Okay. Mine's a little bit high in this guy. All right. So let's just keep all that in mind as we move to our actual drawing. And one last thing I want to point out to you in the drawing is this right here. And we're gonna put this on a new layer. We have these tendons that go to the back of the ear, straight down into the pit of the neck. And you could clearly see them on our model here. You see them right here. I'm going to highlight them. And when we draw her, we want to be mindful of that because those are going to really immediately tell us that we can see her neck and that she's looking straight at us. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to copy this here. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get going. Now, this, let me just double check here. All right. First thing, remember, whenever we start a drawing, we have 3 phases. We go with gesture, then we go into structure, and then we go into structure / volume, and then we get into detail. So let's quickly establish our parameters for our drawing here. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of get my outside border set. If you're drawing on a sketch pad, there's no harm in starting off with some type of border treatment. I like it. I like to use it for a form of measurement, and we can always expand on it. So very lightly, this whole drawing has a center line. So I want to use that to my advantage. And the one thing that is possible is that you would make the head too big. So be mindful of that, okay? Be mindful of that. And I'm going to actually draw my head, believe it or not, starting with a square. Okay. And now I'm just going to start to gesture very lightly. And I'm looking at negative space. I'm trying to judge her upper body, okay? And I'm actually going to just continue this. She's very lengthy, very lengthy. So I'm going to go with a very narrow up and down. What I'm looking for is a shape that really can represent what's happening here. And she's holding this the sword a little bit low, okay? So that's where her arms are going to be. And I like to usually, this is interesting. Look at this. Usually on the hands, on the arms or hands, you'll get something where there is an active side and then a deactive side. So watch this. The bottom, let's look at her, her right hand, her right arm. And it has almost like a straight, okay? And then if you look at her hand, it comes up and down. You see this? and it's going like this. And then, right, this is where the knuckle is, right here. So all we have to do, let's just keep this simple here, and we're going to shade this little area there. And then, of course, this is going to come back into her body. Now, watch this now. This bottom line here almost represents, let's see, make sure that I'm not going to draw on our picture, her, man, that right there, and that is her, man, I can't remember now, radius and ulna. Is that right? I almost think that's right. So this little mark right here, you could feel it. Just take your finger. This is the ulna, and I might be wrong in those bones. Like I'm trying to remember from 30 years ago, and your forearm is made up of these two bones, the radius and the ulna. And the ulna, on certain angles, you will see it come right out, and it forms a very straight line. So that is what we see in this picture here. And if we have a doctor in the house who could tell me if I got my arm bones right, that would be helpful. But anyway, so here's our, let me change my color here. All right, so here's my ulna, all right? And then look down here very carefully. We have this lower part of her arm coming in, just like that. And then the ulna usually hooks up right with that elbow. All right, so this is coming in. I'm going to now look at look, there's the negative space. You see that little bit of negative space? And then what I'm doing, I'm trying to show you on this side here so we can practice this arm a little bit. And then as far as the fingers go, we're just going to break this up here. We're going to keep it really simple. Just like that. All right, so let's continue. I kind of went a little too far on that, but I just wanted to show you that bottom part of that hand, and the other side's going to be like that, just the same. Okay, so let's go ahead then. I'm just going to gesture in that hand there, and the other one's going to be right below that. Oh, another thing, if you didn't know, the hand is usually the same size of the face. So the size of your face, you want to make it similar proportion to your hand. All right. Great. All right, we're just going to start looking at some more shapes here. Her shoulders are coming out, right? And I can see already by this, I've kind of made my chin a little bit low. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit taller. I'd rather have her be a little bit taller than normal. And now, right down here along the top of her shoulders, this right there is going to be the pit of the neck. All right, it's going to be right there. All right, and we want to get that in. And I'm just making sure that this stays up with me. Okay, great. And let's get these tendons in. All right, tendons are going to come in on either side of the square like this. You see that? Okay, let's go ahead and continue down here now. She has this sword, and this hilt of the sword is going to be right there. Nice long blades coming down here, and then I don't know what this is called in a sword. I know it's to protect, like the hands from being sliced. right? Okay, so we're still kind of in this gesture stage here. All right, now let's I'm going to bring her gown out here. Still keeping this really gesture. Just trying to create the big shapes here. That's all we're doing. All right, let's get into this face now, okay? So I'm going to keep mine pretty small. And let's just do what we did earlier, okay? Let's just say this is, I'm going to go with this as being my eye line, right about there. There are her eyebrows. I'm just going to lightly put in where her eyes are going to go. And then I'm going to just darken the top to give a sense that these are going to be eyelashes. I'm going to give a slight indication of where her nose is. Come on, get caught up. All right, there you go. Quick indication of where her nose is going to be. And then let's be very careful how we draw these lips. So okay. Get that shadow underneath there. Right now it may look like a mustache, but we'll get this looking pretty good here in just a minute. I'm going to give just two little quick nostrils there for her nose. All right, let's get her hair in, because her hair is going to be very helpful to us. I'm going to get the bottom part of her chin there. Hair is going to be very helpful to us to indicate that this is a woman. And I'm thinking of these shapes. I'm thinking of shape here. All right. Curving it around just a little bit on the inside there. Darkening it around maybe her face just a little bit. This will help to set her face off there. And then I'm going to come in here with a little shadow right above her eyes, between her eyebrows. And then her whole skin, you know, she has almost like almost kind of an Indian or darker skin there. So I'm just going to add an overall tone to it. And I think that's good. That's a good starting point. Here, do you want me to... Here, I'll do this for you. I'll let you take a look at that for a second. I'm struggling a lot with the arms. All right, Shelby, guess what? You got a arm arm day tomorrow for you. Just keep all right, I just don't want to say keep it simple. Let's look at the arms in just a minute, okay? Can you show us those again? But of course I could show you those again. So let's look at the arm on the right hand side. How about that? Okay. So let's start with there's an active side and an inactive side. So let's bring the arm all the way across there. All right. Bring the arm all the way across. Let's get this hand in here, and we're going to just make the active side to be on the inside here. And I'm kind of exaggerating. Something like this. Okay. This is where the knuckles are going to be. This is where the knuckles going to be, right in here. And then we want to this is where this would be shaded. This will help turn the corner. And you could actually look, I want to show you this. Look for the ulna. The ulna is, look, I'm going to highlight it here so you could see it. It's right there. And it's right there, right? Let me erase those. Those are actually, would be called landmarks. And a lot of times we'll use landmarks to help, not only use for proportion, but to tell the story. So, like if you were going to put, you might like just put a little dot right there. In this other arm, you might put a little dot right there. Okay? All right, so then this hand's going to come down. And we're going to break this up 3 lines. This will give us all of the fingers coming down. And at the very end of that, I am curving. So like if I was going to draw that a little bit larger for you. And I broke that down like this. At the very end here, I'm going to curve this. This is going to be, wow, how did I do that? I only created 3 fingers there. Well, you get the idea. Boom, okay? And you could even, if you got into a little bit more detail, you could even curve that. That really tells us that this is, these are the knuckles, or these are the hands here, okay? All right, so let's transfer this idea over to our model here, okay? So let's get this one in. We'll do that one first. There's the front of her hand right there. And remember, we want to try and draw this the same kind of width of the face. All right, and we're going to do this. We're going to add some tone here to this. Okay. Her elbow is going to be out here, and that's going to line right up with the ulna, just like that. And then the lower part of the arm, and I don't know, can't remember what this is called, but it's going to come in like that, okay? All right. Let's go ahead and get these knuckles in, these other fingers in here. There's 1, 2, and we're going to draw 3 lines. 3 lines to represent those hands, and already I can, but I'm going to roll with this. The deltoid, I can see that deltoid. And then it's coming up here. All right. Let's get the other side now, okay? Her knuckles are almost lining up with each other. Again, straight line going back. You froze. Okay, it looks like I'm getting a little bit of an error on the YouTube side, so let's hopefully see if that corrects itself in just a minute. Man, drives me crazy. Freezing. I'm sorry, you guys. I can see it on my end. There's a little yellow bar that says that for whatever reason it's not receiving the video. Man, hold on. Let's see what happens here. So I think it's time to tell a story. No, I can't think of a story to tell right now. Oh, it's okay. All right, we'll keep going, and God willing, it'll just fix itself, right? All right, I just have to keep this up front there. Great. All right, we're going to continue on here, okay? And if it gets real bad, give me a shout out, all right? Bad quality resolution, yeah. Okay, now, all right, here we go. Let's just keep going and see what happens, all right? All right, so we're going to get the lower end of the arm there. And once again, I'm going to add some a little bit of value to her arm here to get it to turn the corner. Elbow's going to be right about there. Man. Oh, don't you love the technology? All right, here we go. Come on, baby. There it goes. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of tone on the right-hand side here. All right. Let's get the inside part of her arm here. And this time I'm going to look at the negative shape. She's going to have a little bit of a deltoid up here. All right. So let's get this fabric in here, okay? And I'm going to give some surface lines here. We'll give some over here as well. Okay, let's get this sword hilt in there, right? And I'm going to put a little bit highlight there, okay? All right, let's continue on here. Her blouse, her gown, okay. And her hair, let's get some, I'm going to darken in the hair just a little bit here, right behind the shoulder there. Darkening in her pit of the neck just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of tone down here into her midsection. Wrapping this cloth over her arm here, adding more tone to her exposed skin a little bit, because we definitely want that to read against her flowing gown. Okay. Okay, let's continue on with this gown here now. And the way I've drawn her to have a lot of like hard edges. So we definitely want to contrast that with a very nice, beautiful flowing gown. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way to the bottom down here and establish the, I'm going to establish the bottom of the gown, and then I could draw up from that, okay? So let's see here. And on the bottom here, I'm pushing down with my pencil, and then I'm pulling up. And that's going to cause a lot of movement at the bottom here. I want to look very carefully at the folds here of the fabric. So it has a very light feel to it. A lot of this is just coming from just careful, very careful observation. It's almost like drawing flowing hair. Going into the sword now. Okay. And now since I've got most of my shapes, now it's time to go in for me and start adding some value. So the area around the sword here in our lower body is going to have some value. So I want to definitely add that. And what's nice is that's going to help to make that sword pop, because we're going to create contrast. So like we did on Monday night, I'm going to give this an overall tone. And I don't want to add this tone to where her fabric is transparent. I'm going to just keep this to the center area down here, okay? And this might require you to have to go back in and darken her skin up. Because sometimes when we make a certain adjustment, it changes all of our values, and that's okay, because we're trying to get that nice variation there, you know. Okay, let's go in. I'm going to go back into my gown here and start adding a little detail, some surface lines. And you know, you get to a point sometimes when you're doing this stuff, at least I do, where the picture may not show it, but you start adding some things to help tell the story better. And I think that's a big job of the artist, to take something that's a reference and then start to make some decisions. And once again, as I'm drawing, I'm pushing down and pulling up, pushing down and pulling up. You see that? And that creates a very nice line. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to add this sun thing behind her head here, right? She's almost like a deity of some sort, you know, almost like a saint. I'm going to add some triangles here. Won't be exactly like the picture, but okay. And I keep coming back to her hair to try and darken it in a little bit to create a nice shape. I want to be careful not to make the top of her hair too much, right? Okay, look at that overall there. Not too shabby, huh? And then I'm going to add a little bit of tone back here to suggest a little bit of a background. And as I get up higher, I'm going to keep it a little bit lighter. And then down here, maybe I can drop in a little bit darker value. I kind of want to make this background darker value. This way her gown will show up a little bit nicer. Now, if you're, I'm not really sure what you're using to draw with tonight, but if you have this lends itself actually to do a little bit of rim lighting. Let me show you what I mean by that. If you took a pure color, and I'm just gonna take the pure color here of my page and just come down like this. It kind of gives a very, what should we say? Euphoric. I don't know if that's the right word. Ethereal, is that right? Okay. And I think I'm going to add some of these highlights even to her dress ever so slightly. If you're using, a lot of times back in the day, what I would do is I would have like a white pencil, or even, we used to have this stuff called, it was like a little bit of white paint. And we would come back into some drawings and add some white paint to get certain things to highlight out. And I'm just adding some more of this lighter color, like right underneath her eyes. Ooh, that might be too much there. Top of her nose, the tip of her nose maybe. And maybe the bottom lip. You see that? Okay, how's it going there? Well, I think we're kind of pretty much at the end here. I don't want to overwork it, but let's see here. I think I'm going to work that back in there a little bit so it's not as dark. It almost can have a woodcut feel to it, you know? All right, I think that's it for me tonight. I hope that was helpful. White jelly pins I use for that. Oh, beautiful. Great. That's a good use for those white. Just make sure they're small enough, right? Okay, well, listen, hey, I'm Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this has been our Wednesday night live stream. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for everyone who's going to tune in a little bit later. Leave a comment in the YouTube videos. Give a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. And we will see you tomorrow in the Facebook group. Keep posting your stuff. I think somebody, let me just double check here. I want to look something up here real quick. Yes, Leanna asked about if we had a video on stacking books, having a stack of books. So I told her that I would post something tomorrow to take care of that. But anyways, there you go. If you're in the daily draw, we're going to be drawing the other drawing actually tomorrow. We're going to do a great mashup. Wait till you see what I got in store for you. But nonetheless, thanks for tuning in. Have a great evening, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.